Right, this is the fly I'm going to be tying. It's a simple CDC pattern. It's a very good fly for any olives that's coming off, and tied all sizes, tied all the way down. I mean, you can tie it as small as you like. Now, this is a size 16. It's the ultimate dry fly by Full and Mill. Now, I rate this out more as a 14 than a 16, and because the modern sizes are slightly bigger than the old sizes. Now, thread I'm going to be using is the case is a light olive, uni thread in 8/0. Now, you simply start the thread about a mil from the eye and work my way down. Remove the waste piece to the back of the hook here, and then we tie in some Coq-de-Lion fibres. These are the white and Coq-de-Lion. Now, this is a kind of speckled grey colour, ideal, a nice colour for this that sort of pattern. Now, you can exaggerate the tail fibres. You don't have to have 3 fibres. You can get 2 or 3 more on. You can always remove them. At least tail length, at least the hook length. Now I simply come down, so I'm going to do a couple of turns, and then in those 2 turns around the bare hook, and then come underneath the tail fibres. Then lift these up, screw them in with a turn. You'll see the tail sitting up really nice. Trim away the waste, which is there. Now, I've got some Peacock. Now, this is dyed yellow. Now, there's an actual grey in the Peacock eye feather, and when you dye it yellow, you get a wee kind of yellowy olive colour. Now, I've bleached it using normal bleach and removed most of the fibre, or the herring. Now, we tie it in down here, so we trim it to this point, so it's tapering up towards the wing. We can just quickly take the thread up. Now I want a slight taper in the body, so I'm going to come back down 2/3 of the way and then back up, and this will give me a better taper. Just going to come back a wee bit here just to fill that. There we are. Now, to protect the quill, you can either wind over some varnish, clear varnish, or in this case this is the Full Mill super glue. Now, what I'm going to do is wind up with the leading edge is the dull edge, or the darker edge, sorry, and just really wind up, do a turn in front of the other over the super glue. Just take your time you're doing this. Now, there is a bit of herald there, I don't mind. Just near the end of the quill, so I'm going to catch this in here. 3 or 4 turns to make sure it's secure. Trim this away. Now, CDC feathers. I've got 2 large CDC feathers. This is a natural grey. Just going to line the ends up, tips up, so you've seen the natural curve going up the way there. Tips have lined up. Now, you tie this forward of the eye with the curve coming up and away from the hook. So all I'm doing is encouraging these fibres to come in and to form the wing. Make sure the tips are aligned. So you can slide your fingers to make sure they're there. You're looking for a wing length, at least the shank, tied forward. Now, just come in here, catch that in, pinch and loop. 2, 3 turns. Then what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to, like, the way you would stack a wing is to actually, or post the wing, sorry, is to come underneath on round the base of both the waist ends and the wing. Just go around, you want a good half a dozen turns or so to bring them together, and there we are. That's what you end up with. Now, dubbing, I've got a brown olive CDC feather, you can see here, this colour, it's a brown olive, and what I've done, the waist ends, if you can see there's waist ends of both CDC feathers. I have been tying flies with both, and I always keep them as dubbing. Now, what you do is trim that away. Now I'm going to trim both away at the same time. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Now, these are the natural CDC fibres and the brown olive. So I've cut together. Now I'm just going to roll them together just now. You can see the dubbing now. You can dub this straight on, or I'm going to use a bit of UV a light olive UV dubbing. I'll show it here. This is the UV dubbing, which basically binds it together and helps. And what you end up with once you blend them together, it's quite simple. You just pull it together like this. Just working it. So you make your own dubbing. If you're tying a few of these flies, you're best to sit down and make a few. Now when you're happy, you don't need a lot, that'll tie a few flies anyway. Just lightly dub it onto your thread. Slide it up. And then we form a small thorax with it. A wee quick look to see how it's looking like, that's fine. Lift the wing, get right in there. Now I don't mind going in and then running the thread through the dubbing, drawing back the fibres as I wind. End up with the thread in front. Make sure that's nice and tight. Now what I'm going to do here is varnish, put varnish on the thread. Just about 1 centimetre from the eye, just run it down the thread. And then wet finish. And then that'll be a fly complete, just a matter of 3 or 4 turns. Tighten up. Trim your thread. Now what I'm going to do here is trim the CDC at the back. It's important, the reason to leave this is a stiff fibre. It's good, it's ideal, it helps to, this basically helps to float the fly more than this part. So what I'm going to do is come down at an angle from the top towards the middle of the body. Straight pair of scissors. Cut. Just like that. Now keep these ends, these waist ends, because that's dubbing in there. And what you do is, if you want to form like a nice wing, you can separate both. If you look there, you can press down the top here and then separate them, but tips either side of the body. Now you can encourage that to stay there, either by, you could have tied in something to separate with, like a bit of foam or something. Or the easiest way to do it, once you're happy with the position of the fibres, I usually press my finger like that, is to get a UV resin. Now I usually just come down, push the wing down either side like that, and then you can just put a wee tiny bit of resin, a light resin, allow that to soak in and let the wing sit up. Then we turn this so you can see how it's separated. You can see the resin right in the middle, and then all we have to do is set the resin, and that'll hold it. It'll give you a nice impression of a wing. It's a very simple fly. You can tie these up really quick, and a very productive fly. You can leave these wee ends here, or you can trim them out, it's up to yourself. Adds to the fly a wee bit, so let me have a wee quick look. No, I'll keep it like that because it's very nymph-like looking. So anyway, there's your quill-bodied spring olive. Nice, simple, easy fly to tie. As I say, got a box here I started filling. You can see all the different types in there, and these are emergers as well. Very simple to tie, so hope you enjoyed that.